The atomic explosions and the frequent operation of nuclear reactors have filled the atmosphere with radiation, the effects of which have not yet been fully understood. This has led some researchers to question the reliability of fossils. Darwin himself said, "The greater part of our fossil collection and images of fossilized life is incomplete. It is but a small part compared to what is hidden within the Earth." He also stated, "The geological observations that support the theory of evolution are in a state of disorder and incompleteness. It is known that 2/3 or 3/5 of the Earth are covered by seas, and a large portion of the remaining third is covered by towering mountains. This alone serves as evidence of the inability of the theory of evolution to provide evidence for the intermediate stages. The theory loses much of its experimental foundation, and it is not appropriate to accept a theory without sufficient evidence. Nor should its proponents object to the theory of independent creation. The theory of evolution proves nothing more than that different species did not appear simultaneously. Rather, different species appeared at different stages, and there is a chronological order in living species, meaning that simple forms of life appeared before complex living species. However, what remains uncertain is whether complex living species are indeed advanced forms of the simpler species that existed in ancient times and then evolved into their current forms as a result of prolonged material processes, or whether they are not. The observations confirm the first part. As for the second part of the theory of evolution, it remains an assumption put forward by scientists who believed in the theory. This hypothetical part of the theory cannot be observed under any circumstances, nor is it subject to experimentation in any form. Meanwhile, the inference drawn from the theory of evolution depends solely on the validity of this second part alone. And even if we accept the validity of the assumptions on which the theory of evolution is based, in terms of the existence of similarities and order among species, this does not necessarily negate divine will. The latest research on the origin of humans has introduced a theory that has caused a great deal of controversy: the theory of sociobiology, which is the interpretation of the social and biological existence of humans as one. This theory aims to establish a truth that was already simply confirmed by the pure essence of divine religions: that humans are distinct from all other living beings. Humans may share some physiological traits with other species, but they differ and are uniquely distinguished by fundamental biological characteristics. Darwin did not anticipate that his theory would have such a far-reaching impact, extending beyond the realm of biological life into other sciences, whether natural or human sciences. This led one of the prominent contemporary American anthropologists, Professor Alfred Kroeber, to say that there is a certain disproportion between the limited contribution that Darwin made to science, which is confined to establishing the principle of natural selection, and all the influence that the establishment of this biological principle has had on the entirety of science. This biological principle was a revolution against the prevailing conditions in all sciences and disciplines, but it faced significant resistance in all areas of thought and science, reaching its peak in the field of religious thinking and theological studies in Europe. Nevertheless, this revolution pushed the scholars of the era to seek the origins of things, such as the origin of language, the origin of society, the origin of civilization, and the origin of religion, in the same manner that Darwin sought the origin of species. The idea of evolution became a method and approach not only for understanding life in the universe, especially in understanding humans and society as a living organic being. From this, the significant impact of Darwin's theory becomes apparent. This doctrine has been attacked a great deal in the name of religion, with some equating it with atheism and materialism. However, neither Wallace nor Darwin were atheists. Wallace had a strong belief in God. He had doubts about traditional religion, but never doubted his faith in God and his wisdom. As for Darwin, he never claimed that the proof of evolution negates the existence of God, nor did he say that evolution explains the creation of life. The most he asserted was that evolution explains the diversity of animal and plant species. At the conclusion of his book, On the Origin of Species, he states that species trace their origins to a few types that branched from the germ of life created by the Creator. In 1873, Darwin wrote, "It is impossible to conceive of this grand, wondrous universe with our conscious minds as a product of chance, which is one of the strongest proofs of the existence of God." When asked about his religious beliefs in 1879, Darwin replied, "I am hesitant, but in the utmost degree of this hesitation, I have never denied the existence of God." He also wrote in response to the question of whether the theory of evolution is compatible with belief in God. They are compatible, even though people differ in their understanding of religion. Therefore, Darwin was not an atheist. However, materialistic atheists exploited the doctrine to deny God and usurped it for the sake of atheism. But God Almighty turned their plot into good for the benefit of believing science, resulting in the best that the mind has ever produced in proving the miracle of creation and revealing the truth from falsehood. We believe that the revolution caused by the theory of evolution and progress was driven by divine providence. In every research and every discovery made in the name of this theory, wisdom and the miracle of creation have been revealed, showing the clear harmony between God's will and the consistency of law and its divine source.